Hey guys, we're back with the Screen Team. Hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Chris. I'm being joined by a brand new member of the Screen Team. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Taylor. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. How are you doing, Chris?
Doing really good. First off, let's get to know you a little bit. Tell us about yourself, and you're from Poplar, Bluff, right?
Yes, Poplar Bluff since 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Moved here from St. Louis, and but I consider myself, I guess, a Poplar Bluffian. I
Sure.
love it here. Love old Southeast Missouri. 24 years old. Have 2 babies on the way, twin boys.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's exciting. Do you have any names picked out and everything?
Cash and Carter, big Johnny Cash fan. So
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes, sir.
I was going to throw out the name Chris, but apparently you've got 2 strong names. But
Yeah.
you know, down the line, if you ever want another one,
A third boy would be Chris.
Chris, exactly.
We got to fit it into the Johnny Cash line.
So tell
Anything
us.
but Sue.
That's right. That's right. So tell us about yourself. What do you do for a living, sir?
I build houses.
Mhm.
Yep. We have a family business, McClure Development, and we build a few houses a year, and so that keeps me pretty busy. Just came from there, and I'll be heading back after this. And
That's exciting. I mean, what kind of houses do you build? Do you just do the small ones? You guys do the big ones too?
right now we're doing spec homes, pretty much. So no customization as far as we don't take contracts from people to build them a specific house.
Sure.
But we have several house plans. People come to us and they'll say we'd like this plan. We build it for them, and medium-sized houses, some with basements, some without, and mainly just me and Dad, and we have a good time.
Do you enjoy doing that? I mean,
Love it.
I mean, I do this because it kind of gives me a lot of creativity. I would
Yes.
expect there's a lot of creativity in what you do
There's
as well.
a ton. We, like I said, spec home builders, so we build a lot of the same houses
Mhm.
over and over again. But at the same time, we never do one exactly the same. Just
Sure.
constantly changing stuff, changing kitchens, changing bathrooms, changing what's called the elevation of a house, which is like the way the front looks.
Yeah,
And changing rock siding. It's fun.
that's cool, man. You do it with your dad?
Do it with my dad, yeah. And it's a 99% great thing. You know what I'm saying?
But
Which-
still, that 1% we're like, Dad, that's not. Oh,
Well, it's just I think not many people could do it,
Sure.
and so I think 1% is pretty good. We get along pretty good. We have fun.
very much so.
Yeah.
If people want to know more about you guys, you have a Facebook page or something?
Yeah, we do. We have a Facebook page. We stay pretty busy,
Mhm.
and so a lot of times I'm trying not to tell people. But but no, you're more than welcome to check out our Facebook page,
Sure.
McClure Development, and we love what we do. We believe we build a very good quality home, and we're proud of what we do.
Cool. All right, man. So let's talk about some movies. You are a movie lover.
Absolutely.
What kind of movies are you interested in, brother?
Everything. I mean, if it's a good movie, I'll watch it. I love kind of cult films that kind of went under the radar.
Yeah.
And just like your Napoleon Dynamite type of film. We're not even doing that movie, but you know what
Sure.
I'm saying? Just movies that feel good movies. Love action, love comedies. I don't know. It's all good. I don't like the horror flicks. That's not my game.
Yeah. Well, does your wife like the horror flicks?
No,
Okay,
she
good.
likes the commercials.
Good, man. Good.
She likes the 30-second segment that makes you jump.
Some of the movies that we have from you tonight are kind of those under-the-radar films a little bit. The first one we've got is a movie called Fracture. This movie came out in the early 2000s, and it's got some really big heavyweights as far as acting goes. We've got Ryan Gosling, when he was just kind of, getting up there, kind of making his name, and also Anthony Hopkins. I remember when this movie came out, but I don't remember if I had much interest in it when it came out at the time, or if it got any buzz or anything like that. That's why I kind of feel like this one kind of was under the radar a little
Definitely.
bit. So let's talk about this film. Why do you like it so much?
I like movies with good dialogue,
Mhm.
good, lots of scenes where there's just conversation happening where you're like, just a little bit more than like a superficial everyday movie where it's like you can almost depict or guess what's going to be said.
Sure.
It feels real. The characters feel real. I love Anthony Hopkins' character. He is like I want to say an evil genius, although
Yeah.
I don't really think he's that evil. What he did was wrong, but at the same, I mean,
There's a lot of gray there, guys.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, where's the line? And but I just think he's a very smart character. He obviously has thought everything through. Like you said, Ryan Gosling. It's a movie that gives guys a chance to say, "Oh, I really like that movie with Ryan Gosling in it."
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We don't get that opportunity very often.
My wife, she loathes Ryan Gosling,
Yeah.
loathes him.
Yeah.
So it's not just guys. But anyway, so let's talk more about Anthony Hopkins' character. In this story, we kind of meet him early on, and he's kind of, coming up with a plan that we kind of notice. He seems to be be pretty upset because his wife is apparently cheating on him, correct?
Yes.
So Anthony Hopkins not very happy about that. So he devises a plan to basically take her out, but also by doing so, he's trying to do this plan where he doesn't get the blame for it and someone else kind of does, but we don't see that until later on into the movie. Did this movie keep you guessing, or did you kind of know right away where everything was going?
It kept me guessing. I'll be honest with you. Most movies, like, you'll talk to people and like, oh yeah, 5 minutes I had to figure it out. I'm like,
Yeah.
but man, the whole time I had no idea what was going on. The gun, the gun swap. I don't know how the show works. If there's spoilers, I assume.
Well,
there's spoiler alerts.
you just gave the whole movie away, so
I apologize. You don't even want to watch. It's not even worth watching now.
the movie's like 20 years old, so I guess
if you've not watched it by this point, yeah. But yeah, I guess it kept me guessing. Definitely.
So let's talk about Ryan Gosling's character. He is a young attorney. He's very brass, very confident in his abilities.
Yes.
And he's kind of moving from one department to another. He's working for the DA's office, and he's like, you know what? I've had enough with you guys. I'm moving up to the higher firm right now. But he's got one more case to do.
Yes.
And it's the Anthony Hopkins case, and doesn't pay any attention to it. He wants out, and Anthony Hopkins kind of notices that at first, and he uses that to his advantage.
Yeah. He's basically says, I guess in the first thing, you can tell that he's wanting, to get out, and he says, "Oh, I like Mr. Beecham."
Yeah.
And it's like, again, it's like that sarcasm. It's like, why does he like him so much? But it's like, it's this cat and mouse game where it's like, he's my guy, and I'm going to take him down.
Yeah.
It's like he finds pleasure in it.
And we see a lot of that throughout the entire movie, that pleasure of Anthony Hopkins saying, I'm one step ahead of you.
Yes.
Throughout this entire movie. And Ryan Gosling's like, what is up with this guy? Yeah, why am I getting beaten by this guy?
Yes, 'cause he's got such a good track record.
Yeah.
He's not used to that.
And yeah, that's a good point. His lawyer record was,
Yes.
untouched. So this was definitely a hard case for him, and he keeps struggling. He keeps getting beaten down. He's going to lose both of his jobs basically. And he still wants a piece of Anthony Hopkins. So we go to the final scene of the movie, and this is where Ryan Gosling kind of gets his payback, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I feel kind of like a big thing in the movie that gets missed is like the self-righteous aspect of it. Of, again, we're talking about his perfect track record, and you find out in the movie it's because he's dropped cases or not taking on cases and stuff. And so this one time when something starts to stump him up, it's like, oh crap, maybe maybe I actually need to step up and be an attorney and absolutely fight for this.
Sure.
And so in the very end, you have what we're talking about, the double jeopardy.
Yeah.
And essentially Anthony Hopkins was tried for attempted murder, and after he pulls the plug, then it becomes
murder in the first degree, or
I guess so.
Yeah.
And so basically it's like the one thing that Anthony Hopkins overlooked, and they take him back to trial.
Yep. So is this a movie that you like to see over and over again? Is this a multiple watch for you?
It is a multiple watch for me. I don't know if it'd be multiple watch for most people. I miss things in movies. I love the details in movies. I just rewatched it here, I guess, a few nights ago, and one thing I noticed, and I cannot believe I missed this, but you actually see what was going to be his new job. And at the very end of the movie, you see those attorneys show up to actually defend Anthony Hopkins. And so
that were from that firm?
Yes.
Oh, I missed that.
And so
wow.
And so basically it's like you can tell either he's going to, or they're going to have to eat crow and have him come back, or essentially he's like, you know what, I'm sticking with the DA, because they actually come to root on or defend Anthony Hopkins. I thought that was kind of a neat tidbit.
I did not notice that. It's very cool. Tell me, this movie's rated R, right? Because there's some language in this film. Yeah. Obviously, this is not one to show kids, but if you're into kind of like murder mystery type of movies, this might be one to check out, right, Taylor?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. It's not a super offensive rated R movie. I mean, by any means, I'm sure there's movies that I wouldn't watch, but this is really, like you said, some language. It's not a terrible R movie by any means, I don't think.
There you go. The movie's called Fracture, starring Ryan Gosling and also Sir Anthony Hopkins, and also Rosamund Pike has a few scenes in there as well. So you can check it out on Netflix right now or get it on DVD. Coming up, we've got more reviews with Taylor right here on the screen.